Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the MCFC 9320 PUBcast. As you can see, the lunatics have been let out of the asylum. Oh, there's only me now. Well, Andy can't be with us tonight. Not sure about Stan, and hopefully Paddy will come back in a second. Be interested to hear your thoughts on today's game. Back in the semi-finals, 7 in a row. That's taken some doing, and it took some doing to come back from a goal behind today. So let me know your thoughts on today's game. Thanks, DC. I'm glad you've got some kind of faith in me. Welcome back, Paddy.
I don't know what happened there. iPad had a bit of a brain fart.
Not to worry, you're here now. But everyone's pleased that it's me and you tonight and no sign of the Muppet.
Exactly. Could you blame them?
No. I don't think... DC, I'm not sure whether there's been any updates on Haaland yet. I didn't actually hear Pep after the game. What did you say, Paddy? Nothing? I can't hear you now either. Can everybody hear me? Thank you, Jenky. It's just Paddy that we can't hear. Let's see if we try again. Try again, Paddy.
I'm back. I can hear you.
You are back. We can hear you now, thankfully. I was just saying about today's game. I think, is it 7 semi-finals in a row?
6, yeah. 7 in a row, I think it is.
So it should be, we know that we're going to be facing Nottingham Forest, so it's going to be a tough game. But I don't think...
It'd be worse, I think, if it was at their ground. The mere fact is at Wembley, and they're not used to that kind of atmosphere, it could get to them. I think we have the upper hand in that regard because we have the experience of being there. They haven't been there before.
I'd be inclined to agree, Paddy. I'm kind of glad we're not facing Palace or Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Because I see that we should have been playing Aston Villa on the Monday night. And that game's they've just postponed that game now because obviously that weekend is the semi-final weekend.
Yeah.
But going back to today's game, I don't know about anybody else, but when I saw the lineup, I was concerned. For me, Gundo and Kovacic don't work in midfield together. It's too slow. And I'm glad that Pep made a change at half-time. It wasn't a change that I was expecting, but we have to give full credit to Nico O'Reilly. What a start to the game he had when he came on. It was a brilliant ball to set up Haaland, who, by the way, we should have been 2-0 up before they even scored.
Should have been 3-0 up.
Yeah.
Well, he missed 3 the penalty and 2 golden chances, the header, and when he was through on goal, he put it over the bar. That should have been 3-0 up. But it's hard to criticise Haaland, Nick. He can be frustrating at times. I think, and this might sound nuts, but when he went off injured and Mamouche come on, it changed the dynamic of the team.
Yeah, it did. We looked a lot better.
Yeah. But the right back position, is your man? I'm going to kill you, Amory. The right back position, is your man Simpson Pusey? Is he gone on loan or what is he?
I'm not 100% sure, Paddy, if I'm honest. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. But Nunes, God love him, he isn't a right back.
No. That experiment's not working.
No, it isn't working. But then, on the other hand, in the first half, he put it was actually the ball that Haaland headed wide. It was a fantastic ball into the box. So we know he can cross the ball.
Well, he's a midfielder. He wants to be able to cross a ball.
I know you say that, but we watch Bernardo play on that right side quite a lot, and Bernardo can't cross the ball like that.
And what was he doing today? Be playing hoofball, Bernardo Silva?
I've got no idea, but we did that a few times in the game today, and whether it was just to clear the lines a little bit or what, I'm not sure.
I think as good as Bernardo Silva has been down 3 years, and maybe he's just having a stinker of a season. Yeah. But it's like playing with a man down when he's on the pitch, and then if you play Kovacic and Gundogan on the same team, Jesus Christ almighty. It's like playing with one hand tied behind your back.
It certainly is.
But do you think he was saving players for Wednesday night?
Against Leicester?
Yeah.
I can't see it because, in all honesty, if we can't beat Leicester, we've got problems. We've got bigger problems than we even realise. And I think we've got that game on Wednesday, and then we've got a tough game in the derby at their place next Sunday, which I can't say I'm looking. I mean, I don't look forward to derbies anyway, but I'm really not looking forward to next Sunday.
No. Not if he picks that team that started today.
Well, he can't. There's no way he can start that team that started today.
I know the rumour has it there's big changes coming, but at least and obviously Pep's on a fortune and he's one of the greatest managers in the world, but that team today that started is not our strongest 11.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination.
So
but the whole setup,
why didn't he do it?
But then the whole setup for me was strange because, not that I'm defending him or anything like that, but Jack Grealish has started every cup game. So why was he on the bench today?
Don't know.
No, and it just seemed a bit, Ortega's been in goal for every cup game until today, and he put Ederson in, which, between the two of them, I don't think it's neither here nor there these days, but...
Well, it is a bit. I don't think Ortega is up the Ederson standard. He's having a bit of a mare the last couple of months when he had his stand-in for Ederson.
Yeah, and Ederson hasn't been brilliant either. So it's, it's all a bit kind of up in the air, isn't it? Adam seems to think we'll win the FA Cup and we will finish third. What do you reckon, Paddy?
I don't think, say, we have about 5 games to go, the likes of Forest and stuff like that will be able to sustain the pressure, because the pressure will come on them. They haven't felt the pressure yet, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty and you're vying for top 4, it gets to players when they're not used to that level of expectation. So I do think that Leicester or Forest will drop points. I think we're 6 points behind them, are we? Level on games.
I'm not 100% sure because I haven't looked.
I think we're 6 behind them. So I can definitely see us getting top 4. As regards to
we are 6 behind Forest. You're right.
Beating Forest at Wembley, it's going to take a better team than he put out today.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like you say, we've got the experience of being in that position, whereas Forest haven't. So
yeah, that's a big occasion, Emery. That's a very big occasion, Nick, for a player and for a team.
Yeah, it is. So I think we've got a lot to play for in the last few games. So it should be interesting. I see they seem to think that Simpson Puce is back with the youth team injured at the minute. That's why he's not getting a look in with us.
Oh.
And Kathy, I'm pleased to see you've been put in a food coma. I hope you've been well looked after today, and a happy Mother's Day to all the Blues out there that are listening and watching. I hope you've had a great day and you've been spoilt rotten with plenty of blue presents, I hope.
What's the talking about mothers? What's the story with all our players? Everybody seems to be dropping babies.
Yeah, there does seem to be a lot that have a lot having babies at the minute. And Steve's just joined us. How you doing, Steve?
How you doing, guys? You all right? How you doing?
You're all right.
Yeah, nice to come on and talk to you. What was you expecting me? Did you have any idea I was coming on?
Yes, we knew you were coming on.
You know, I didn't want to come on and scare you.
No danger of that. We're just we were just talking about today's game, and Paddy seems to have a bit of an issue with all our players becoming dads at the minute.
All the players. I mean, fair play to them. I mean, hopefully one day I get to be a dad. Do you know what I mean? It's been a long time coming, but listen, fair play to them. You know what I mean?
At least they're scoring somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I look at these players like family almost. So you know, good for them. Good for them in many ways. Yeah. I think for today's game as well, I was so happy with it, man. I mean, I think with Phil Foden, you know, people are still going to be unfortunately saying a few things about him, but overall, you know, the team, they showed that warrior spirit, which Pep Guardiola has been calling for. You know, they all fought together, and they all shown like what you can do when you come together and just fight for each other. It's the minimum you can ask for, and they all shown that today, that fight.
Well, Phil Foden's having a lot of psychological issues. It's not physical with Phil Foden, and you get judged, Steve, by the standards you set yourself on. And Phil Foden, because he won Player of the Year and all last season, he's going to get judged against that benchmark. And if he doesn't be up to that benchmark or anywhere near it, he's obviously going to get slated. And some of our fans are the worst, you know. Fans in general, I speak about our fans, I suppose. They expect players to be like robots.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand them players have a life outside of that football field.
Yeah.
And shit happens to them.
Mm.
You know, and Foden is a prime example of that this year. For whatever's going on, he has kind of hinted at it himself that there is psychological issues in the background.
It's really right. It's probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm one of the few ones that feel sorry for the lads, you know, because they play a lot of football, you know, and I know they get paid well for it, but you know, it's not easy. You know, I used to train twice a day myself to play football, and you know, I ended up struggling mentally myself. So I'd be mad not to sympathise for these lads. You know, no matter how much money they're on, I do feel sorry for them in many ways. And unfortunately, it's not going to get any better, is it? But you know, when you look at the schedules, it's not kind to them, is it? You know what I mean?
Well, they won't be getting much of a break this summer, will they?
Yeah. Let me cat out a sec before it starts crying. One sec.
No, it's a crazy schedule that we've got. And when
what they're going to get about 2 or 3 weeks off in the summer, is it?
If that, literally, there's that much of a gap between the end of the World Club Cup competition and the start of the new season.
Yeah, it's not enough, is it? And especially going back to what you was just saying there about everyone becoming a dad. you know, they're not going to be much of a dad, are they? Unfortunately, which that's going to affect the mental health as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Mental health it's a serious thing, you know, which people have to take it seriously. And you know, you can see it. You can see it sometimes. Some players might be struggling because you know, maybe that's a reason that it might affect them on the pitch, like Phil Foden in particular. Maybe I sympathise a lot, right? Because like you just said there, 2-3 weeks off, yeah, that's not enough. That is enough to make you ill. It's not enough to make you recover. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It really is, to be honest with you. Like, they should have, in my opinion, 2 months off of doing nothing. But
that's just it. It's never going to happen, that though, Steve.
That's never going to happen between the European,
between the Euros
and the World Cup. That ain't happening.
And this stupid international thing they've got going on. What is it they call it? I can't even think now.
The Club World Cup.
Well, there's that, and there's
I know what Andy likes to call it, the Mickey Mouse Cup or something like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the national team as well, Steve, there's some league created for the national team.
Yes, there is. The Nations League or something.
Nations League again, yeah. Is that another one?
Yeah. That's pointless and absolutely
But you know
meaningless.
what? Like if we didn't have a busy schedule in the summer, you can be damn sure City take them players to America or China or whatever, Asia or wherever they were going to want to become famous or make more money. So even if we weren't in the Club World Cup, you can be damn sure they'd be shipped off to somewhere.
Yeah, of course they would, because there's not going to be a pre-season tour, is there?
No, there's no time for that, is there? There's no time to be messing about like that.
That's what I'm saying. If there wasn't that World Club Cup, our pre-season would be the other side of the world. Yeah.
Well, do you know what I fear as well, guys? Yeah, I fear that, you know, with all these extra competitions, I worry about this time next season. I'm not even worried about the start of the next season. I'm worried about towards the end of next season, because that's when true burnout is going to show. You know what I mean? And I worry for the lads then. You know, you look at Rodri. I mean, you know, some people were saying like, oh, but you can't predict these injuries. Well, here's a shock for you. You can. You know what I mean? If you got a brain and you're looking at how much they are playing and little rest they're having, you know, you can predict something is going to happen somewhere along the line. Look at Gvardiol at the minute. He's a lad that's victim of playing too much football for me this season, and I predict that he's probably going to get injured sooner or later. Do you know what I mean? And the extent of
we were lucky not to lose him during the week, weren't we?
Already, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
the
one example.
Injury.
That's one example, yeah.
You know, and even with Rodri, they were getting overexcited that he was back on the field actually training by himself, and yet today the doctors are saying the earliest he will be back is the Club World Cup.
Right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so obviously it's not great to even try and rush them back, because we're going to pay a price further along the line, and that's what's happened with the likes of Aki. Because if you read what Aki posted when he had his operation, he'd been playing with an issue with his foot all season.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before something was going to go. And I would imagine that that's been the case, although, you know, Stones, God love him, he only needs to kick a ball and he seems to get injured these days.
Yeah, which is literally how he got injured, if you remember. He just passed it, didn't he? And he went, somewhere went.
Unless he has an England shirt on. He's all right then.
Have you got something against England by any chance,
shirt
mate?
on and put the Man City top over the top of it, and he'd be grand.
Yeah.
But like see what you're saying, Steve, right? Like the easiest way now to describe that to people who don't understand the physiology and anatomy of competitive sports: sit yourself into your car, take the car out of gear and floor it, and keep your foot there and see how long your engine lasts.
Yeah, mate, I like it. I do tend to like your you throw little decent quotes every now and then, don't you, mate? I've noticed, and I do like it. I appreciate them, unlike Andy might not.
Andy's too unintelligent to get it. You see, that's the problem. He's like this. Mr. Teflon, everything fucking bunches off him.
No, I have been enjoying your show, guys. Honestly, and it's nice to be able to jump on and chat with you, definitely.
Well, you're very welcome, Steve. It's good to have you on.
I appreciate it.
And it's one of those. If anybody ever wants to come on, if you just let us know, on a Sunday or during the week, we'll always do our best to get you on the show with us.
Mm-hmm.
And look, for anybody who thinks we're organised and well prepared, don't believe a word of it. It is, we just wing it every week. And
you do a good job though, man. You know what I mean? Especially yourself, Anne-Marie. You're on there. You find yourself hosting today. You know what I mean? I've seen you host a couple of times, and you do well. You know what I mean? You hold your own.
She's way better, she isn't she?
Hey,
she's way better when Anne-Marie's hosting.
Yeah, I'm saying nothing, mate. You know what I mean? I might want to come on again, so I don't want to say too much. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, but Steve, you just get in touch with me rather than Andy. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
But it's an interesting. It's just the whole setup at the minute is interesting because, you know, as we're seeing on, and I know Andy wants to touch on this on another show, but as we're seeing at the minute, on social media, there's a lot of unrest with City fans. And obviously, I know, having spoken to City this week, I know that we're about 3 weeks away from getting our renewal information. That's what they told me during the week.
Is information not already out? No, is it not already confirmed that it's going to be more expensive?
No, not yet.
Really? I thought it was confirmed that it was going to be more expensive.
No, they've not confirmed anything yet. Here you go. Here's the
confirmation. It was 5%. I'm reading the season tickets, was it?
No, they've not said anything yet. The only people that have put theirs up 5% so far are United.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it, Anne-Marie, because you know your season ticket holder yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I'll take your word for it. But it's mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's mad. I was actually speaking with Andy in a lot of depth about it, to be honest with you, on one of Martin's spaces on Twitter, and you know, I think everybody shares the same opinion. And one good thing as well like it's not even just the local fans. It's fans from overseas. It's fans abroad. You know, I'd like to think of us as all one community. If you're a City fan, I'm going to have your back just as much as the next man. So, you know, if whether you're a tourist and you've got a problem, well, then it's my problem because we're City fans. Do you know what I mean? And I don't like hearing some certain tourist, you know, they're talking like, one of them said, like, oh, just don't go then. And it's like, well, that's not the answer, is it? Like, you should be trying to find solutions with me. Do you know what I mean? It's not me v you. We're not trying to start an internal warfare between fans. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we need to find solutions together. It's the best way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah,
and I see, just in case anybody doesn't already know, I see that 1894 are trying to encourage everybody to not take the seats in the stadium till the 9th minute of the game on Wednesday night, because obviously if there's an empty stadium more or less from kickoff, it's going to have an impact. And I think that kind of a protest will have more of an impact than protesting outside the ground. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
Do you know
why the 9th minute?
I have a real issue with that.
I don't know why the 9th minute, but that's what they've asked for.
The 9th minute is because that Via Go are the 9th ticket partner that Man City have. And that's why the 9 minutes. Originally it was 15, now it's 9. And then they don't want you to buy food and they don't want you to buy the
drink,
merchandise and stuff like that. But I'm over Wednesday night. I'm coming over for Wednesday night.
You're going over, mate?
Yeah.
Is that your first game since the Etihad, is it, I heard?
Yeah.
No, he was at the Etihad the other week, Steve. He was there for the Brighton game.
I'm only joking anyway. But fair play,
I'm not
man.
staying in no concourse for 9 minutes. They can shove that up their posterior.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're all right, Paddy, because where you're sitting, the cameras don't get.
Yeah, but you see, I'm a tourist, apparently. You know, I mean, a fucking tourist is 1985, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, my issue with that, right, and one of our esteemed colleagues, Stan, raised a very good point around that. There's a generational blues, and Stan being one of them, has been priced out of Man City long ago. Where was the moral outrage then? Where was the protest outside the ground, inside the ground? Don't buy this, don't buy that. When Stan et al. Were thrown on the scrap heap, and F you, good luck, Jack.
No, and it's a very good point, Paddy, and whether it's, I don't know whether it's because we're starting to finally find our voice.
Yeah, but you haven't listened to a generation of voices. Then you've chosen to ignore them.
I don't think it was chosen to ignore them. I think it was a case of, because of the situation we've been in, and because of the continued success that we've had, I think most people just kind of sat back and thought, well, what do we expect? We're continually winning stuff. We're getting, we're winning leagues. We're getting into the Champions League. We're winning FA Cups. And, this is better than we could have ever dreamed of. And I think it's more a case of that than ignoring other fans. And I think that the problem now is that we're in a situation where we're pricing out the majority of our fans. That's what I honestly believe. It's interesting because I contacted City purely on the basis of Dad giving up his season ticket next season. And they asked me why he was giving it up. So obviously they got full pelt from me. But they took it very well, and they rang me and spoke to me and whatever else. But
do you know why, Anne-Marie?
Why?
Like your dad's season ticket's probably about 600-700 quid.
It's £500
right,
as an
500 quid for 19 matches. Do the maths. So they're going to sell that ticket in one of their 9 media partners now, or ticket partners, for between 300 and 500 quid with a hospitality package and all that. Then you multiply that 500 then by 19. See how much more money it brings into the club?
Yeah, but that, thankfully, that isn't that ticket is not going to be resold to any of the ticket people. That why I rang them is because I wanted to pass the ticket on to somebody else and to keep it as a season.
Did they facilitate that?
They have. They've said they will do that. I just need to contact them again when the renewal information comes out. But they've said they will do that.
But is that just for the end of the rest of the season, or is that for next season?
No, that's for next season. So for next season, for the rest of this season, the ticket's in Dad's name. For next season, it'll be in a friend of mine's name.
Right, and they have no issue with that?
No, they had no issue with it. They were really helpful about it, to be fair, which surprised me.
I'm very surprised to hear that.
It's nice to hear something, like the other side, if they are doing good, then they should get, we should know about it.
You know what I mean? For it. You're right.
Do good things, and you should know.
Mm. But I don't know, the whole, I have a distaste of the whole ticket issue myself. For years I wasn't in a position to come over, and then I came over there a couple of weeks ago, and I sat with you, Anne-Marie, and I'm coming over on Wednesday night because I'm not in a financial position to be able to attend matches again. And if there was a season ticket going in the newsstand, I'd take it. Like I was a season ticket holder for years in Main Road. Mm. But because I moved back here and the kids were young and I couldn't attend and money had to go elsewhere, all the kids have grown up and gone. Now I'm now in a position to start attending matches again. But you have, I don't know how you describe them, calling me a tourist. Who it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but hang on, Paddy, you personally can't be classed as a tourist. You don't turn up in a hut.
What's the definition of a tourist then?
A tourist for me is somebody who generally will turn up in a half and half scarf for that specific game.
A casual fan.
Yes.
You're certainly not a casual fan, mate. You come on here and you've got as good as opinion as anyone, mate. So, you know what I mean? As far as that's concerned, just take no notice, you know. And, you know, fuck him. You know what I mean, mate? Fuck him.
Oh, sorry, no, I understand that. See, it doesn't bother me, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The fans now, in my opinion, are spoiled rotten. Like, compared to what they're watching now on a weekly basis, compared to what I used to watch,
yeah,
there's a bit of a fucking difference.
It's interesting you say that, mate, yeah, because I'll be straight with you. You know, I am old enough to know to when I was around when we were shit, but I watched us grow and become the best team in the world. And this season, you know what? Maybe I have felt a bit spoiled. You know, I've been one to use the word standards because whether you like it or not, the club have set a standard, and we've not been at that standard this season. And I've had to check myself sometimes because I found myself moaning a bit too much. But you know what, though, you have to appreciate the club we become in many ways, don't you? Because I always wanted to be this when we were a bad team, and here we are today, where I found myself in 5th place, and I'm moaning that I'm not fighting for the title. You know what I mean? But that's how it is these days.
That's the way it is, Steve. And
that's the way it is. Times change.
Yeah,
times do change, but we forget. You know, and unfortunately, we've got a new generation of fans who don't want to hear about how bad it used to be.
I love to hear. I love to hear. The more I can know, the better.
We went through half a season where we didn't score a goal at home under Stuart Pearce.
Yeah.
You know, and yet we still turned up every game in the hope that we'd win and score a goal. And it just didn't happen. And we're like I say, we're in a position now where we have been spoilt by what's gone on, and you know it's a blip of a season. This for me,
it is mind blowing what's going on at that club. In fairness,
it is crazy.
Mate. It's unfathomable. You know, we hit the lottery, mate, didn't we? We hit the lottery. But you know what? Though I think today's shown what being a City fan is about, right? Because did you hear our away fans when Jack Grealish come on? Jack Grealish, a player that's been getting stick off like you would never believe if you go on social media. It's disgusting, to be honest with you. And the away fans today, super Jack, all game long, and I love that. That for me is what being a City fan is about, where the player might be going through it, and the City fans are there behind you to pick you up. And I think if any away fans listening today, good job, lads, boys and girls.
Our away fans was always like that.
Yeah, I think it's important as well. Like for me, not to abuse players, you know, like Jack Grealish. I mean, you know what? Like I thought he was brilliant when he come on today. But that's 20 minutes or however long it was he was on. Yeah, I thought he took the sting out of the game when it needed taking out. I didn't see him lose the ball once. He's showing you what Jack Grealish is really about, really, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why Pep puts him on. When he wants control of the game, he puts Pep on. When he wants organised chaos, he puts Savinho or Durko on. Yeah,
and I think the key word you said there, mate, is organised. Some people get it twisted and think that it just cause chaos, but they're not daft. Some of these players, like for example, Doku. There was this thing that when we first started seeing him play that he can't control, like he can't control a game or control the ball. When in reality, if you watch him for 90 minutes, he doesn't know how to keep the ball when he needs to. Like he's capable of turning around and passing it back to the fullback. It's just he's also capable of doing that extra bit as well. And you need to look at each player individually and differently and realize the strengths and weaknesses and whatnot. And don't get too hyperbolic as well. Like saying Jack Grealish, some people don't believe he can take a man on, but he can do that as well. You know, these players are capable of more than people realise.
And every single one of them brings something to the team.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to hear Nico O'Reilly's comments after the match. When Pep put him on, he told him play high up the pitch. He's playing left back, and Pep told him play high up the pitch. So any counter attack or what they call it transition now, he's going to get exposed. But he's doing what Pep tells him to do. But the fan then will say, oh, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. But he's executing Pep's plan. And a lot of fans don't see that with players.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing what Pep told you to do, you'll not be in that field.
How did you guys think we set up then? You know, in that second half, when he shifted it around, how did you think we set up in terms of like? Did you think we looked much better after the first half, like because of the substitutions? Like, what did you think of the substitutions and how good they was? Like, especially with the back forward as well.
I says we have really before we come on that Haaland gone off, changed the game.
Do you blame Haaland for that? Do you think Haaland was poor?
I think it's been one of our big problems all season. In that you look at before they even scored today, we had 3, possibly 4 great chances to be in front. The penalty, the header that just went wide, when he got through 1-on-1 against the keeper, and I think Gundogan had a shot that was straight along the ground. So there's 4 chances there where we could easily have scored 2, possibly 3 of them. And we're not putting away our chances. That's what I would say. We're not as clinical as we need to be. And that's what's come back to bite us this season quite a lot. Defensively, yes, we know we've been weak this season, but we're acting like it's a new thing, and it isn't. It's just that we've been found out in the way we set up, that other teams know how to play against us now. It's like you can guarantee Forest in the semi-final will do one thing and one thing only. They will aim to hit us on the break at every opportunity they get. And the question is, are we going to set up in a way that we're not just leaving one man back when we've got a corner or something like that, that we're not leaving ourselves open to that counter-attack?
Yeah, you're right. I think for as many goals Haaland scores, he does know how to miss a chance, doesn't he? He does frustrate me sometimes, but he's another guy as well where I've got to be careful because I don't like slacking the guy off. You know what I mean? The guys he does still score that many goals, but for me, missing a penalty is unacceptable. Yeah. Genuinely, I don't think you can miss a penalty. I don't like to see players miss penalties at all, especially when it's mid-game. And in a shootout, it's a bit different. A shootout is like pressure's on, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The pressure's on, but for me, there's no pressure in the middle of a game. You get a penalty, and there's no pressure. You've got to be putting him away. Especially the way he struck the ball as well for that penalty. It was a feeble strike. He was there to be saved, and then he went and missed the 1-on-1 as well.
He's no Yaya, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is, mate. You know what I mean?
Her Balotelli. What's he?
Yeah, my favourite City player, mate. He is.
He's missed 3 this season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's missed 3. But if you listen to Joe Hart, and the other match was on the Villa and Preston, I think he was on BBC.
I thought Joe Hart was brilliant today as well, by the way. Just on the punditry.
Did you hear what he says about Yaya Toure and Balotelli after his training?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
He says the ball was immaterial to him. He says they weren't looking at the ball, they were looking at what you were doing. Yeah. And wherever you went, they just put it in the opposite direction.
Yeah. And Joe Hart was really good at saving penalties as well, wasn't he? Yeah. Better than Edison is. So he must have been hard to score against in training as well.
Steve, I'm better than Edison. When it comes to penalties. Jesus Christ.
Gordon,
saving penalties, maybe.
Gordon, in response to your question, Andy's in the nick and we can't get him out. And Stan's asleep somewhere rolled up in a ball. And he'll wake up at some point and wonder what day it is. But they will hopefully be both back next week.
We hope one's back.
Were the lads having a drink last night or something?
Oh, no idea. Andy's supposed to be detoxing, if you believe that.
Who? Andy?
Andy. That's what he said to us the other week, didn't he? I'll be detoxing now for weeks. Yeah.
He likes to say that on a Monday.
Stan, God love Stan. I think we bored him last week or the week before.
Stan's in a quality street coma somewhere.
Yeah.
I was hoping to come onto a full panel today, guys. You know what I mean? On my debut, I was hoping to have a full strength team.
No, you've just got us 2, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you have to make do with what you've got, Steve, I'm afraid. Stan the Hedgehog. Yes, Steve, he is definitely hibernating.
Yeah. What did you guys make of Nico O'Reilly? Have you spoke about Nico O'Reilly yet today?
I think Nico O'Reilly's brilliant. I've been watching Nico O'Reilly since he came up through. I watch all the youth team matches. It's not a surprise to me what Nico O'Reilly's doing. Hence why there was a lot of clubs coming in from in January.
Says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, somebody said before he's a good shout to start against Leicester.
Why not?
Put him as left back and put Gavidol in the centre,
yeah.
Which worked really well today, him and Diaz in that second half.
That's nothing against Cousinov, by the way, but I completely agree with you. Sometimes you don't have to do something wrong to get dropped. Sometimes you just get dropped. It is what it is.
But today, I think he was on a yellow card anyway, and he got challenged by I can't remember which player it was, but I know he didn't get booked for it, and it was a nasty challenge. And I think he might have got a bit of a knock from that as well. So Kushinov did absolutely nothing wrong today. Yeah. But, when he went off, it made a difference to the team and our setup.
Yeah, well, it's
where it made a difference with Nico O'Reilly. Come on, you could have took Guardiola and Nico O'Reilly would have still had the same impact in the match. The match didn't change just because Kushinov went off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's because Nico came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come on, and I think he got 2 assists today, did he?
He won us the game.
And the second one was a touch like a butterfly.
Yes, it was a fantastic touch. But he made a massive difference. And that's why I would say, yes, and that's why I would say, is he due to get a start against Leicester on Wednesday night?
Wouldn't upset me if he played.
No.
And it wouldn't he deserves it if he played in the centre of the park and dropped one of the geriatrics.
Yeah.
But then I'm surprised he didn't play Gonzalez today.
He's keeping him for the Foxes.
But he, because he came on with well, there wasn't that long to go when he came on. But I'm surprised it just the midfield choices that Pep made today surprised me, because we all know that they're too slow, and that doesn't help our game.
No, you're there to get bullied, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A few of them sometimes you're just getting physically outmatched, and it's if you're getting physically outmatched, sometimes you can already be 1-0 down, because it's like when you're playing against. Like when you're growing up as kids, it's like playing against the year below you sometimes, you know what I mean? It's just, sometimes they get physically dominated, which has killed us many times this season. I was very surprised Nico Gonzalez didn't play, and I thought when he come on as well, he solidified it as well.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
Do you know Pep's taking part in that protest on Wednesday night? He is.
Is he?
Yeah. For the full 90 minutes, he's doing it.
That's my manager, mate. It doesn't surprise me.
Is he banned?
He's banned.
That's his second ban of the season.
He's banned on Wednesday night.
Wow.
Because he got a yellow card again today.
Yeah, he'd be in the stands beside me on Wednesday night. I'd have to go down and organise Kevin Keegan, because he hasn't a word of English.
Nico O'Reilly, guys, all season long, I've been calling for this lad to get a run of games, because, for me, sometimes I don't need a lot of time to look at a player and make a decision on whether I think they can do it or not. And as soon as I seen this lad, I knew he had something about him, because not only has he got the technical ability, but he's got that bit about him. He's built like a brick shithouse, isn't it? So I've got faith in him in that regard. We've been physically capable to play. And so some people online and that they slag me off for calling for him, saying, you can't just have kids and all this. But it's like, well, I'm only asking for one lad to come on, and it's Nico O'Reilly, and he's not built like no kid, is he? You know what I mean? No. He's absolutely massive.
He's a unit.
But
I'm so happy for him.
Somebody else said it on here, I think. I can't remember who it was now. but he should be getting a start in a game ahead of McAtee.
Yeah. You could argue at the moment against maybe even something like Phil Foden. Do you know what I mean?
Because Foden's not just, obviously there's reasons for it, but Foden hasn't produced this season.
Yeah. Or not, whether there's reasons or not, no problem. He's got credit in the bank as far as I'm concerned. If he wants to have a season off, then he can have a season off. And I love the lad, and I've got full faith that he will be back when he's back. You know what I mean? I've seen enough of Phil Foden to know that he's going to have a good career. So
yeah,
he'll be back when he's back.
It'll be an interesting lineup. What team would you pick for Wednesday night?
Yeah, first of all, mate, I just want to say as well that Pep Guardiola said at the end of the game that Nico O'Reilly will definitely be starting in the semi-final. So good for him. Did you hear that?
Good.
No, I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear Pep at the end, so
yeah. No, he did, mate. He did. Yeah, he said he almost laughed and said, well, "You know what he's like, don't you?" And he said, he'll be playing in the semi-final. So good on him.
Do you ever see? You can't listen to Pep. Pep will probably put Ortega left back in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Have a bit more faith in Pep than that. Come on.
What, after he dropped Rodri in the Champions League against Chelsea? No.
Yeah, but that was he knows it himself. That was the biggest mistake he ever made.
He does know it himself, yeah.
He does know it himself. He openly admits it.
Mm.
So I'm not worried he's going to make a mistake like that again.
Yeah,
right. Name your team for Wednesday night. So.
I think he'll play Rico Lewis on Wednesday. And obviously we have to stick with what we've got at the back because
we don't have anything else.
Well, because we haven't got anything else is right. And if Kushinov is injured, then it'll have to be Diaz and Gabadol. And then that gives the chance for Nico to start as left back. I think in midfield he's going to start Gonzalez. Kev got the full 90 today, so Kev won't start on Wednesday. I
think you might be surprised there, you know.
Do you think?
Yeah, just got a funny feeling.
He doesn't seem to play him like that though at the minute.
I know, but if you remember, like, before when he got injured this season, earlier on in the season, he was doing it then. He was like, he's playing him 90 minutes, and I think we were 3-0 up at half time, yeah, and he's kept Kev on. Like, what are you doing there? Like, take him off and protect him. I don't know. I just think you might play him again, considering I thought he was decent again today, and you might want to keep the rhythm going with him. And he was, by the way, he was brilliant for Belgium, you know, as well.
Yeah.
Do you see what just happened there, Anne-Marie? Like, you named the back four, no problem at all, and you're struggling to name the midfield.
Yeah.
That's the issue that Pep faces every week. Like, Foden, absolutely brilliant, but not playing great. Silva, off-season. Gundogan reads the game perfectly, but a bit slow, can get bullied. Kovacic, I'd nearly start him.
Well, I think you'd probably have to start him. And I think then because I think Bernardo's his blue-eyed boy, I think Bernardo will start.
No. To me, I go full Kevin Keegan. My midfield would be the Nico, the small Nico, we'll call him, Gondwans, Kovacic, Savinio, Duku, and then I put Mamouche and Haaland up front.
Mamouche and Haaland, yeah?
Yeah.
What, you mean Mamouche off the left? Or like...
Anywhere behind
just get him on.
Yeah. 4-4-1-1.
I like it, mate. What about you, Anne-Marie? You were saying you was up to, you said Nico Gonzalez, and then he said KDB and that midfield. What about the rest of it?
I think you'll see. I'm not sure you'll see Haaland start on Wednesday, so I think it'll be Mamouche. I think it'll be Doku, Savinho, and then I think it'll be Gonzalez, possibly Kovacic, and like I say, because I think Pep has got a favourite in Bernardo, I think it'll be him in midfield.
Right. Well, you know, with Haaland, yeah, I reckon he'll be all right because it was an ankle injury, so it's not like it was a muscle injury, innit? So I think if you're one of them, you get an ice pack on it. And I think he'll probably be all right, to be honest with you. You'll probably even be training him tomorrow, knowing Pep. Do you know what I mean? But I think Haaland will be okay. I do.
Well, I think if Haaland's okay, then he'll play ahead of Mamouche.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to happen week in, week out. But I have Mamouche playing in behind him.
By the way, Mamouche getting a goal today. I mean, I know it was a bit scruffy, and it was announced that Haaland out for weeks. I'm not seeing that, mate. Don't know where you've seen that. Fair play, if that's true. Surprised. I'm surprised he's able to diagnose that so early as well. It's a bit strange.
I think it's more of a question though, rather than.
Oh, is he asking? Yeah, right, fair
yeah.
play. No, I've not seen that, mate. I've not seen that.
No, I don't think any of us have seen anything on it yet. It's just a thought, DC. Right. I don't think we're in any way of knowing that yet.
Well, if he has strained his ankle, they're going to have to wait for the swelling to go down to see how bad it actually is. And
do you think it might be that serious? Yeah.
He couldn't stand on it.
Oh, I see. Bloody hell. Well, you don't know, do you?
He was like a lame pup on the pitch
at
the end of it. So when you can't weight bear, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I think this is what makes that Mamouche signing so brilliant. You know what I mean? This guy, I don't feel so nervous. If he's starting number 9, I'm not really got a problem with it, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Getting a winning goal today, that'll do his confidence of the world of good. You know what I mean?
And
of course it will.
Centre backs can't mark him as easy as they mark Haaland. Haaland's a big unit. It's easy to get up against Haaland, and he takes 2 centre backs to mark him, and they're quite comfortable playing that physical game against him. You can't play that game against Mamouche.
No, Mamouche, he doesn't stand still. Mamouche, does he? The guy he's like a bee, just buzzing around constantly.
He's like Silva in his prime.
I won't go that far, mate.
He is, absolutely.
Yeah. I like him.
In terms of energy and buzzing around the place, he'd run from now in the middle of next week.
Well, it'd be good for him to get a run of games as well. He's another player I like. In regards to for my team as well, though, go for Wednesday. Yeah, so I like your back fours. I think Nico O'Reilly. He has to play again, guys. The kid's too good, man. He doesn't deserve to get dropped. There's other players that deserve to not play over him. So I like your back fours. I like Guardiola in the centre as well because it's his favourite position as well. I've got a fear, deep inside me that he might even end up leaving, because if he's not playing where he wants to be played, like I think he might end up getting off or something, which I'd hate for that to happen because I really like the guy. But yeah, I like the back fours that you said there. Diaz, Gvardiol. I personally, I think Nunez has got a bit about him, and I think he's got a bit more about him than Rico Lewis. I play him right back. I heard you guys say earlier on that it's not working for you, but I think he's got something about him there, me. I like his pace. Yes, I know he made that dodgy pass for their goal, but I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. But I'll go Nico left back, and then I'll go Nico Gonzalez in the defensive midfield. I'd like to see him getting put back in there because again I thought he was brilliant when he come on and solidified the game. Ahead of that, I'm going to be crazy and I'm going to say KDB again. Next to Gundogan, I thought Gundogan might play again. I thought he was good today. Gundogan, to be honest with you. I know he's got a lot of stick this season and probably rightly so as well, but he kept the ball really nicely today for me, Gundogan. I'd play him again. And then I'd go the fast lads on the wing with Savio and Doku. I'd put them back in. Hopefully, Savio can play. I know he missed the day because he had the birth of his kid, didn't he?
Yeah,
Elliot, nice to see you there as well, Elliot, mate. He's a good lad. He's a good lad, Elliot. But yeah, Savio, Doku. I know Elliot, he's not a fan of Doku, but I'm a big fan of Doku as well, so that'll make him laugh that I said Doku. I know Doku's one of them.
Andy's not a big fan of Doku.
Hey?
Andy's not a big fan of Doku either.
I know he's not, no. But he does give credit where he's due, though, don't he, to be fair to him. Paddy, he summed him up nicely. He said he's like Marmite, I think, didn't he say that? People, you either love him or you hate him. I'm a lover. I like that. I like watching.
Would you be concerned about Vardy's pace on Wednesday night?
Whose pace?
Vardy.
Who?
Vardy.
Am I concerned about Vardy's pace on Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about him maybe getting a goal. Not so much his pace anymore, but he still knows where the net is, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Whether it's a tap in or whatever it might be. He's a guy that knows where the net is. So, I'm concerned about that, not necessarily his pace. And especially if you are concerned about that, then go and play Cousin of centre half because he's rapid. So I'd match him against the pace in that instance.
Do you know he's faster than Kyle Walker?
Cousinov, mate. I didn't think I'd ever see a man faster than Kyle Walker in my life, but here he is. Here he is with us today, isn't he? You know what I mean? How did we hit the jackpot twice, getting the fastest player in the league, and then when the fastest player in the league goes, we get the fastest player in the league again.
Yeah,
we're all right there, aren't we? Some player, mate.
Them January signings were unbelievable.
Brilliant. And I think that other young lad, Victor Hayes as well. And we're not seeing a lot of him, but again, I like what I have seen. I have
very accomplished defender.
Smooth. He's got that Rolls Royce about him, hasn't he? I think
he's a. I know you shouldn't do the comparison thing, but he's like a young John Stones.
Yeah, he's John Stones-esque, isn't he? Definitely.
What's that say, Emery? I can't see.
Top of the league says, am I right that this ref has history? No fouls for us, but we touched them and it was a foul. That pull back in the first half, he plays on but does not book the player after.
Exactly.
Seriously bad ref. And I think, top of the league's got a point there. The ref, it took a long time for him to book any of their players, and yet there was persistent fouling. And every time, if you watched it, they were straight in the back every time and nothing was ever given our way. But as soon as it happened to them, they got the decision. And I think, I think they only gave us the penalty because there was no other option.
Choice.
Yeah.
But you're right in what you're saying, Top League, because I actually put that up in our own private WhatsApp group. I says the lads that the referee's only keeping the yellow cards for Man City players, because what they were like that tackle on Kovacic where he pulled them back and he played on and he didn't go back and book him, which he should have done. Like it's fine to play advantage, but when that advantage has dissipated, you need to go back and book the player, and he didn't.
And as you say, the referee does have history, because I'm just reading here, Bella Mo says it was Atwell who was the referee who gave the offside goal for United.
Well, that was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. That offside goal.
But at least Hardware apologised.
In regards to the referees, I just think they're all as bad as each other, to be honest with you.
There isn't a good one in them.
You know what I mean? I think they're all as bad as each other, so I don't expect much when it comes to refs.
But then again, Steve, and I wouldn't be no lover of no referees, I can assure you that. But if you look at the standards of a referee in the Premier League or the Champions League, you can't go near a player. The handball decisions are absolutely shocking.
It's almost like a different rule, isn't it? in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's mad.
If you breathe on the ball in the box, it's a penalty in the Champions League. It's like if you were to say get rid of the Premier League the referees and bring them guys in. Okay,
do you know what I don't get about the referees situation in the league? So you can have foreign players. Why can't you have foreign referees?
You can, as long as you train under our system, you can.
Because you don't see any foreign refs though, do you?
No.
And if anything, yeah, you'd expect they might lean towards a foreign referee because then no one's got no ties to any clubs, right? If you've got an English referee, you've got to support some English team, haven't they? So
there'd be a rag or a dipper in there somewhere, Steve.
Oh, come on, mate. They're everywhere, aren't they? They're everywhere.
You're never more than 2 foot from a rat.
That's what I mean. Have you got a new camera today, by the way, Paddy?
No, it's the same iPad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm on this thing where it looks dead clear and like crystal clear. I don't know. I thought you might have a new camera, mate.
No, same iPad, I'm afraid. It's a bit brighter.
Yeah, a bit brighter, yeah. Although it was interesting to hear Roy Keane's thoughts at half-time today. I don't know whether any of you heard them. He was spot on. And as a City fan, as a City supporter, that is the most disappointing aspect of the game.
Punditry.
Not the punditry. What he said at half-time, he says that our players were wandering round the pitch like they didn't care. And that for me is the worst thing I can ever hear about my team. Because if that is the case, then I want them all to be fucked off. But because if they don't care, why am I caring? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
I'll be honest with you, Anne-Marie, yeah. I wouldn't, me personally, I mean, you want my opinion, I wouldn't worry about that. I think Roy Keane, he's one of the better pundits, yeah. But I think he's probably being a bit hyperbolic there. I think, mate, they did look a bit lost, the players, but I think if they shown an ounce of they don't give a shit, then I don't think Pep would stand for that. Be straight with you. I don't think he would stand for that. So
his assessment of the first half is correct, Steve. A good few of them are walking.
Roy Keane. Well, you know,
and actually, believe it or not, Roy Keane is an actual soft spot for City.
Well, he just says it how it is, doesn't he?
Yeah,
that's what it is with Roy Keane. He says it how it is. Whether if we're the best team in the world, who call us it? You know what I mean? That's why I think Roy Keane's decent of a pundit.
Unlike that dickhead who was beside him today, Ian Wright.
Ian Wright. Oh, he's a wanker, mate. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that word. Sorry. But
no, you can say what you want.
He is absolutely shocking, mate. He's the most biased pundit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. And not only just for that, but he hates City. He absolutely hates us. And I've actually heard him come out and say things like he hates the way we spend. When it actually, if you look at it, you know, there's people that spend more than us and whatnot. And he does mad him. He discredits our trophies, yeah, because
his whole money
and we never used to win anything before, and now we win things. He discredits that because we spent money. When you have to spend money, mate. Is he a clown?
Yeah, but Steve, we're the only ones that spend the money. You know, obviously the statistics and everything tell you otherwise, but according to the Red Cartel, we're the only ones that spend money. We're the only ones
part of it, Ian, right? So
of course he is. He's he's got the Arsenal flag right up his arse. You know, and I think he's bitter about Sean Wright-Phillips as well. Because obviously Sean was with us and we had to sell him. We had to sell him to Chelsea, otherwise we'd have gone out of business, basically. And I think he was bitter about that. But these things...
He just gives me bitter vibes in general.
I think the proof's in the pudding because Sean Wright-Phillips and his brother, the fellow went to Southampton. Bradley, the boy was breaking into houses, been on Southampton for some reason, but anyway. Like, they're all Blues. And all Ian Wright's grandkids, they're all Blues.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Like, not one of them are an Arsenal fan. Not one. They're all City fans. All the grandkids and everything.
Fair play to them.
But that's, you know, and we're seeing it all the time. You only need to look at Sky. I mean, thankfully it was. I mean, ITV are bad enough with all their adverts, but Sky with Spitty and Batfink.
I can't watch them. I actually watch streams while I'm watching Sky.
I cannot understand how on earth Spitty is still in a job.
He's fucking one of the main guys in Sky Sports.
I know, but not only did he spit at a young girl, you know, we're look at during COVID, we've got a prime minister, a health minister, and various others that all got fined for being involved in parties. Yeah. And yet he was out in the middle of Liverpool during lockdown when they won the trophy, when they won the Premier League, celebrating in the middle of Liverpool with thousands of other fans. And yet, as a country, we're in lockdown and nothing happened to him.
I think in regards to him, you summed it up perfectly with the Spitty thing, you know, like what he did there, that's enough for me. Forget lockdown. You know, you spat at a little girl, mate. Forget even if it was a fully fledged bloke, you spat on someone, mate.
Yeah.
What a joke. And to have this guy paraded around telly like that, like it never happened. You know which one I don't like? Glenn Hoddle, yeah. Because my dad always told me that he slagged off people with disabilities.
Oh, he did, because when he was the England manager, he believed in this. I can't remember what the woman's name was.
Yeah, reincarnation.
It was a faith healer.
Yeah,
a faith healer. And he basically said that for people with disabilities and various different illnesses, it was in the mind and it wasn't real. And
no, what he actually said was
go on, Paddy.
They were people with learning disabilities and physical disabilities now, present day, were being punished for being bad.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Like they were reincarnated. Like this was God's way of punishing them. They put them back on the earth and put them into a disabled body.
Yeah. Like, and this guy's on ITV and the rest of it, mate. Like, how can you have him on telly for that? That's disgusting.
But people forget these things, Steve, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't.
People think of Glenn Hoddle and they think of him having a heart attack in the studio. That's what they think about.
He must be getting punished, was he?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Paddy. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
You know, so it's just unfortunately.
But it's never going to, like the pundits are never going to change, Emery. It's always going to be the red cartel pundits, always. And then if you think Sky is bad, that BT Sports or TNT as they call themselves now.
Yeah.
Michael Owen, that monotone fucking drone, Michael
Owen, Steve McManaman.
He's like a form of punishment, he is.
Oh. I was in a lift with him once. That was bad enough.
Do you know, Joe Hart's really grown on me, you know, even more. After he's like, I don't even know if he's retired or not. But
yeah, he's retired. He retired at the end of last season, I think.
Well,
Steve, do you want me to
he's a real City ambassador for me when I see him on telly. He knows how to represent our club, unlike Micah Richards.
Steve,
Micah Richards is a disgrace.
Do you want me to bust your bubble for you?
Say again, mate.
Do you want me to bust your bubble? Read Joe Hart.
Go on.
What was Micah Richards like when he first went on the punditry scene?
What did I think of Micah Richards at first?
Yeah.
I thought he was good, to be honest, but...
Yeah, it was we, us, we.
Yeah, exactly.
The next season, it was Manchester City.
Yeah, true.
And so give Joe Hart 12. A lot of people forget what Joe Hart did in that club too, by the way. Joe Hart was a bit of a naughty boy in the club. He might be singing our praises now, but he was a bit of a naughty boy. And that's why Pep got rid of him straight away.
Right.
He was a little bit of a bold pup. You know. He threw his toys into the pram. Yeah,
he's probably a bit pissed off that he got dropped, wasn't he? Which I don't advocate for, by the way.
Long before Pep ever came.
Right. I appreciate that last comment that was on the screen, by the way. I can't remember who said it, but I appreciate that.
What was that?
So somebody just said,
being on again more often.
Yeah, to get me on. Appreciate them. Yeah. All nice comments. You know what it is when it comes to comments on YouTube and whatnot? You see a nice comment, I've got all the time in the world for it. You talk shit, then it still makes no difference to me because I'm not interested in that. But you know what? Anyone talking nice and stuff like that, it's always appreciated. You know what I mean?
Well, they're a good bunch, aren't they, Steve? That watch us and listen to us.
Got a good chat. I don't know if that's Steve Black's in here, but he's always in there.
He is, yes.
He seems like a funny fella. He does. I don't know who he is, but he seems like a funny
what about
fella.
Our fan club, Amory? Blue Sparkle, is it?
Oh, Blue Sparkles, yeah. If you're watching, Blue, hello. We'll say hello to you again.
Yeah.
See you Wednesday night. If you're over.
Yeah, you'll see Paddy Wednesday night, indeed.
Are you not going?
I won't be there Wednesday night, unfortunately.
Fucking tourist.
That's me. That's me.
You should be giving your season ticket back.
Now, Paddy.
Well, it's gone to the matches now. It's gone to me head. I've left the armchair now.
That's it, you see. Don't forget to bring your remote so you can turn the sound down.
Yeah. But I went and watched the match the other week, Steve. It was the first time I watched City with a pair of trousers on in about 4 years.
Yeah, fair play, man. I remember tuning in after you. I was tuning in to the show after you'd been, and I was listening to some of the funny stuff Andy was saying to you, man. It made me laugh on here. But I'm on strike at the minute, guys, so I'm staying at home.
You're on strike at the minute.
Wasn't so brave when I was beside him, Steve.
I'm on strike, with this City situation, with what everyone's moaning and that. I'm not really on strike, but I'll tell you I am. That's my excuse for staying at home. I'm on strike.
That's all right too. Sometimes you need a break.
Yeah.
No, Andy was a quiet boy when I was stood beside him, Steve.
Hey?
Andy was a quiet boy when I was stood beside him.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Was he not quite as brave as he is online?
No, he gives it all that. Yeah. But when you're right beside him.
Yeah.
When I stood beside him and he seen the bullseyes in me, he was a quiet boy.
Did you mention that he used to do powerlifting or something, mate?
Strongman,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very impressive, man. I am into the powerlifting and stuff myself, so when I heard you say that, it's quite interesting to it. Yeah.
And how? Because you are tall, Paddy. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
That's my dream height. That is, mate.
I'm actually the runt. Would you believe? There's a family of 8, and I'm the runt.
You're the smallest.
I'm the smallest.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
I often, God rest my mother, I used to wind her up. I say, you were at it with a postman. I says, there's no way he paid me. Like, my father was 6'6", my mother was 6'3".
Wow.
All my brothers are fucking well over 6 foot. The younger brother's nearly 7 foot.
Yeah.
So
did any of them do any strongman or anything like that, mate?
Huh?
Did any of them do any strongman lifting or anything like that? No, just yourself. Good stuff, mate. Brilliant.
Yeah, talking about being built like a brick shithouse. Meet Paddy.
Yeah.
I'm not as big as I was now. I've lost. I had to lose a lot of weight. When I wasn't competing anymore, you have to lose weight. You can't stay the size, but you have to get to that size, Steve, because the rule of the game is mass moves mass. Like when you're moving 400 or 500 kgs, you can't be a fucking stick insect. You have to be big.
Yeah, massive. I'm a big fan of the strong man, like the Eddie Hall, Four, and these man. I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, but all them guys, they're all on gear.
Yeah. But did you never do that as well? Like when you was competing? No.
The Irish National, the federation I belong to is called the Irish National Strength Association. So he
was testing in that, yeah.
Yeah. There's no PEDs, they're called.
Yeah. That makes it more impressive as well because they're all juiced up, aren't they? The modern day athletes. We have to eat. Yeah.
And trying to force feed yourself is no joke. Like when you have to eat 10, 12,000 calories a day.
Incredible.
Like, I remember years ago when I was competing, I used to eat 20 eggs a day every morning.
That's incredible, mate.
And I got about 17 down one morning and I got sick.
You got sick? Because
And I had to boil another 20 and eat them again.
I eat 5 a day now. 5 a day now, which is nowhere near, but it feels like a lot to me. Yeah.
But they were the good old days. Now every joint in my body is banjaxed.
Like you say as well, mate. You can't keep it up, can you? For the longevity and the health and that, you can't do it. Like,
well, it's all nutrition and recovery.
Yeah.
Crap. No, there was none of that when I was there. Like, you just done. You pulled trucks, you pulled planes, you lifted stupid weight above your head, and good luck.
So before because we've done a good hour or so tonight, so before we go, predictions for Wednesday. 4-0. 4-0. Okay.
4-0.
You're going for 4-0 as well, Steve?
No, well, I reckon that this Leicester team are the worst team in the Premier League history. So I think Paddy's probably right. Yeah, probably about 4. Yeah,
I was going Leicester 4, Emery.
Leicester 4.
I reckon our EDS team could beat these 4-0. They're that bad.
Well, I think I might stick with my 3-1 just to.
No, I mean, we need a clean sheet.
I know we need a clean sheet, but we do tend to give away silly goals.
No, not Wednesday night. Yeah. I'll be replacing Pep on the touchline Wednesday night. There'll be none of that nonsense.
Well, you probably speak more English than his sidekick does.
Kevin Keegan.
Kevin Keegan's hilarious. That's what my mum calls him, mate.
He is?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he's followers over in Spain at some point in his life.
Mate, it's absolutely imagine it. He's a spitting image.
Right, everybody. I think we'll call it a night, and all being well, we will see you at the same time next week after the derby. And, I'll say it now, win, lose, or draw, we'll be on here at 7:00. We might be laughing, but we might be a bit depressed. Who knows? But we will see you next week, folks. Thanks for being here with us as always, and thanks to Steve and Paddy for joining me, helping me keep the show going. And it was, as always, everyone in the chat, it's great to see you. Thanks for all your contributions tonight. You, as always, you make us laugh, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye,